Good morning, and welcome to another day of 31 Days to a Better You. Listen, every day we are building a better you for your better life. This devotional, whatever you want to call it, is based on my best selling book, 31 Days to a Better You, which is a progressional journal, a progressional devotional, a progressional book where each day is literally a brick, and each day we add on brick by brick. And by the end of 31 days, we build a better you, a better life. So if you are a leader of any sort, if you are an individual, if you're a husband, a wife, a person that seeks to be better in your life, each of the days that we meet and we talk, all of these days are designed to progressively build you to become the best version for yourself, for your life, for your business, for your career, for your health. So today we're going to be dealing with day number 10. Yesterday we talked about day number 9, which was criticize me. We talked about the power of criticism, why you want someone else to be able to observe your work and be able to provide feedback. That's the word, feedback, for your career, for your work, for anything that you do. And so today, on day number 10, we're going to be dealing with understanding the times, parenthesis, rest. Let's begin. When building your life, it is critical to understand the times. There is a time to build and a time to rest. If construction workers toiled all day and night consistently to finish a building, they will eventually reach a point where their body shuts down. Why? Even our own bodies know that without rest, we cannot fully function. Likewise, if we spend all day and night consistently resting, we will never finish the building because building requires actual work. So it is very important to understand the times, a time to build and a time to rest. Do you know that many today are fatigued and producing mediocre work because they were never well rested? Do you understand that your brain cannot function in full capacity if you do not rest? Too many times we are so intentional with work, but not intentional with rest, leaving us to either be fatigued, burnt out, or to produce mediocre work. How intentional are you with resting? Do you set out time out of your day, week, or month to rest and regroup so you can be rejuvenated? Or are you working until the wheels fall off? In building a better you, being diligent in your work requires an adequate amount of rest. Resting is a part of building. I cannot effectively build if I do not effectively rest. A lack of rest has been shown to lead to stress, feeling overwhelmed, and health issues. In your pursuit of success, as you create time to build, you must create time to rest so your building can be successful. How do you rest? Write out the things outside of work that bring you joy. It could be reading, swimming, hanging out with friends and family, or simply laying down to sleep. Study yourself and find out the things that bring you joy. Then, in your schedule, create times within your day, week, month, and year to rest. My tip is rest at least one day in 7 days, a week in 7 weeks, and a month in 12 months. Rest so you can build. Remember, resting is a part of building. How do you currently rest? I think for many of us, rest can be a trigger word, especially for those of us who are workaholic, those of us who really enjoy what we do. Rest can be very triggering because somewhere in our minds, we've been wired to think that when I rest, it does not work, or when I rest, I cannot accomplish anything. And that is actually contrary to leadership, because if you work from a place of rest, then you can actually produce more. The more capacity your brain has to think, to make decisions, the better decisions you can actually make. So the more unrested you are, you may be working but producing mediocrity. I kind of think the best way to kind of use something like that is imagine a machine. I have a portable blender that I use to blend smoothies and things of that nature. And this portable blender, it has something called a charger. I have to charge it to be able to make sure it gets to the full capacity of power. And within that full capacity of power for my blender, when it gets there, it moves with such rigor. It cuts down every ice, it cuts down every fruit, frozen fruit, if you may, and it does it with such excellent work. But then, after a moment of time, after time goes by, something then begins to happen to it. Then that speed that it uses to be able to produce that same rigor and work, it begins to reduce. And begins to reduce. And day after day, without me plugging it and charging it, it begins to reduce till it gets to the point that it's moving, but it's not cutting anything. Some of us are like my blender after a long time without charging it. You get to the point where you're moving and nothing has been produced. Never confuse moving with producing. Never confuse busyness with effectiveness. Many people are busy but not effective, not because they're not talented, not because they're not gifted, not because they're not great, but simply because they have not been rested enough to produce something that can be effective. So ask yourself, what is your plan for rest? It is easy to have a plan for work, but what is your plan for rest?